and you'll see what we look like.
Okay, I'm looking
What the
forward to
fuck?
this.
I don't even have the scene now. They can hear us.
Really?
Yeah, they can hear us. We're audio's live,
We're
but I got
live.
no fucking.
Okay.
I got no
Well,
picture.
we've got no video. Oh, okay, that's a new one.
Fuck.
Is it black or is it
Yeah, it's just black. Well,
delayed live stream?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
we're not shit tech, but
You're gonna get more death threats again, Greg.
it can't be me because how's that evidence? There's no picture.
I just said your name.
I didn't admit to it. This is fucking random.
Yeah, this is super weird. So there's no image.
Joy said it's better like this. You're welcome to leave, mate. Alright, well, we're just.
This is new.
Yeah,
I think it's just really dark.
yeah, clearly. It just doesn't want to see me like floating next to your face.
Is it really that
You'll see.
weird?
You'll see if I actually
Is
get
it?
it to come up.
Is it like that on YouTube as well?
Well, if I get rid of Skype.
Are you sure it's not like hidden under another window?
Nah, I just changed it. Alright, well, fuck it. Let's just.
This will be actually like a podcast because there's absolutely no visual thing except
Yeah, right. So
if you
yeah, so
if you're interested in a black screen.
Yeah, well, our plan for tonight was to show you heaps of visual things, but that's not gonna happen now.
Yeah, hey, so that was we've been playing this for a few months actually. This visual show had lots of things lined up.
Wow.
I even arranged a lot of.
Even better, I just pressed something and now I can't see you on my second screen. Oh, nope. I'd have no idea what I'm doing here. Alright, well...
Am I underwater? Oh, is my audio really bad?
Nah. I think they're talking
No?
about the motor that I bought. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, so we've both been pretty lazy
Hang on. Welcome to the Clutch Kick.
Oh, yeah.
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 Just in case you're wondering what show this was, this is the Clutch Kick. We're on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Australian time.
Yeah. I don't know if I fucked it up and I had OBS already open before I had the dual screen open.
I usually have to have
Yeah.
I have to have OBS open first.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Give us like 2 seconds and we'll be back up again.
Oh wait, I can reinstall my drivers then.
No, don't reinstall your drivers.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay.
Alright. Alright, I think we're up again. Are we back? I think we're back.
I don't know. I'm still reinstalling my.
Nah, we're back. Oh, except I don't. Oh, yeah.
I don't have a stream.
We're back.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just. Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna leave that shit at the bottom. Alright.
Do we actually have an image?
Yeah. See? Can you see me now? See what I mean? It's like weird as shit.
No, I still don't have a live feed.
I can like.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this? Is this better? I'm just gonna sit on EG's head.
What the hell? Okay. So.
EG's got a toupee. It's called Gurg.
I can see. Okay, so. Alright, so we. Is this gonna work? No, actually,
Nah, you can't.
it's just a box.
Yeah.
It's like about. Is it? I don't know.
They want me to look like I'm hanging on your wall.
Ah.
Yeah, I know I'm in full screen at the moment. Well, lucky we've been super underprepared for this week. Oh no, now you I'm in your fucking forehead, mate.
What? Oh, shit.
Nah,
All right,
that's
hang on.
alright. Fuck it. I'm just gonna hang out beside you. No, you get. Oh, there we go. All right.
Is
Well,
that better?
yeah, this is sort of where we're at this week.
Shit. I'm only just catching up because there's a delay on the screen,
Yeah,
so I'm just seeing what you're doing now.
yeah. Hopefully my porn or nothing pops up at the bottom of the other of my page, but I should be right. Um, yeah. I guess welcome to whatever episode of Clutch Kick this is. Um,
56, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure there's someone counting.
yeah, probably somebody who actually gives a shit.
How did you do this? I bet you're using the wrong version of Skype. You're using the wrong. I can see your start menu.
Yeah, I know because I don't know what I'd done and I'd crapped all that stuff. Normally I crop that out, but I haven't. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you? No, I just select the window. Like when I do it, I just have the window and it just has a Skype window.
What window?
Yeah, the application. It just has Skype application as the capture. And
Oh, there we go.
even if I move over, oh, no, actually,
There we go.
something goes over the top
There
of
we
it.
go. There we go. All right. So yeah, this week we've been pretty unorganized. There's been a shitload of things happening in the country, and we just haven't been on top of it. So, um, yeah, I guess we'll cover some of the events that we're able to follow a little bit over the weekend. First week of All Stars was on, and I found it.
Positive comments only. Is that the?
Oh, it was good to see that Matt Van Kirk, the FD driver, sort of came here
I
and
know you like FD.
served it up a little bit. Well, look, the reality is he's only ever made top 16 once, and he came here.
Is he a pro too?
No, he's pro.
He's pro. Okay.
And he's only made top 16 once, and yeah, he managed to win the event. I think he got lucky in one battle, and then yeah, the finals, then sort of the right right the way through, he drove pretty well. So it just served me up the whole time, mate. And yeah, I thought it was interesting to see him come out. I didn't love the comments about how the entry that he was doing was a standard FD entry when he was sort of doing a weight shift to a handbrake, which is sort of what you have to do.
That's not really a FD style entry, is it?
Well, it is, but I'm not sure what other sort of entry you're going to do.
No, FD is like accelerate, then yank on the handbrake, and then start putting on angle.
Yeah, but
not everyone.
I can't say his was any worse than anybody else.
Pop it like this.
So yeah, you guys are rude. So yeah, and my other big highlight from that event was Yates jumping in the Bluebird and doing really well in it. I think a lot of people have always sort of questioned whether or not Yates is actually a good versatile driver because he's been in the expensive cars for a little while now, but a couple of seasons ago he jumped into Glenn Ormerod's car with the 13B non-turbo KE70 and drove really well in that, and then he's jumped into a completely different sort of motor package to what his current car is and drove really, really well. So it did cause a little bit of controversy where Shembry ran into the side of him as he was downshifting into the hole between the walls. But
I heard about that.
Yeah,
he wasn't happy about that, was he?
He was actually way more cool than I thought he was going to be, considering I've had him run into my car, go into limp mode, and he's put a hole in his fiberglass door on my rear bash sprayer, and he lost his mind at me. But I was surprised at how cool he was, considering it was somebody else's car. But I think he sort of expected it a little bit. So yeah, I was just impressed to see that he's no slouch when it comes to jumping in other cars. Like we all know, your Finks and guys like that is super versatile, but Yates has always sort of stuck to the same package, and he drove really well in that car. So yeah, overall, I don't know, standard sort of round from those guys. I'm not going to go into too much detail because people seem to get upset. Uh, Things that they've continued to do round after round that continue to not promote great battles sort of continue to happen. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say on that. Bit upset for my
Which
boy.
was pretty cool though.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
think he did better in that car than in his car.
Well, he stayed on street tires too. He didn't go on to semis, so
Oh, okay.
trying to conserve the car. I was a bit upset for my boy Logan. Not
Yeah.
not all in
I
all
heard
that.
there's
I
yeah, because I didn't get to watch all of it. I just had some work
I
to
don't
do.
understand how on a DB that the chase car can ever be found at fault. Like if the lead car DBs,
Oh yeah.
you're literally driving on no grip, and how the hell is a chase car supposed to follow that?
Yeah.
Like like at that stage, then I'd just put no air pressure in my tires, leave the line. As soon as I grab
Yeah.
the handbrake, it's gonna pull it off the bead, and then I'm just slow as fuck the rest of the run. Like I'm not
And
saying,
it's going to hang out sideways because of the wheel. There's no grip from the
yeah,
tire.
and I'm not saying
Rob.
Gricey, yeah, did that sort of like not saying that he did it on purpose, but like I just don't know how you can have a mechanical failure like that, and the chase car's expected to have to stay tucked underneath that. So, you know, is what it is, but yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that event, really. Oh, and just, yeah, sad to see a lack of crowd down there, considering Victory pulls a good crowd. So, yeah. And then, thanks, guys. My voice is annoying. Well, you can all eat a dick and turn off the stream then. Shoulders, I completely agree. Um, Drifting SA Summer Series Round
Yep.
2. Not a huge amount of coverage. Some stuff sort of starting to come out today.
Yeah.
It was good to see Greenhill. He ended up taking the win for overall over the weekend. And I think he placed second in the battles. And Scott Miller won the battle section. But yeah, Greenhill, I think, was part of the team that, I think the Screaming Pigeons or whatever they're called, that won the team drift. So yeah, Nathan ended up getting to win for that. So it's good to see that he sort of um, yeah, good to see him getting a grip of that car and 2 weekends in a row driving it and sort of finding his feet with it. So really, really good. Uh, I know I sent you the video. For anybody who's got Paul Austin as friends on Facebook, I should probably share it in the community group. It was funny to see one of his runs that I think it must have been just during a practice session or something, and he was tucked in behind one of the other cars and completely smoked out. Could not see a thing. SA drivers are fucking loose. That's all I can say, because
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that. Yeah, it just disappears. But
yeah,
that's what happens when you're sort of in the wrong position. And
I don't know if I'd say he was in the wrong position though.
I mean, like wrong position is in he's in the where all the smoke is. Maybe
Yeah.
if he positioned himself differently.
Yeah, just a
I don't
little.
even know if that'll be possible to be close, but it's just he was in the wrong spot. Just for visibility.
Yeah, just that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit further forward. So, yeah,
Yeah, it completely disappeared, and then he just sort of popped out. Because I think he sort of freaked out a little bit. You can sort of see that in the video. They're a bit unsure where he is, and he actually pulls up in the end. So I think it was lucky that the other guy did. Like, I don't think they were going to hit, but it was lucky that they both did the same thing at the same time, and
Yeah,
Nothing really happened.
100%. Because,
Yeah.
but did you see many videos from that event?
No, not really. Like it'd be really cool to see some sort of event coverage that like what's it, Racing Line do.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
yeah. I'm not. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more come out from them. Um, I don't even think. Yeah, see, this is how on top of it we are this week. I haven't even seen if there's results. You asked about it earlier, but then I didn't do shit.
No, I think the top three was announced, and then the team winners, and that was it. But there wasn't really. I don't think there were results. Well, it's probably not. Doesn't come up my feed because I just don't interact with those guys enough. I think I saw more of the Cardinal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that round ended up being taken out by Nathan Greenhill for overall results, Scott Miller second, and then Tom Monkhouse, super old school dude, in third place. Good to see, yeah, him back up there. And then level two winner was Landon Kennedy. I think they're still sort of running on slightly low numbers uh, within that uh, within that series. I was actually surprised to see they didn't actually get a 32 for their um, yeah, they didn't get a 32 for level one. So hopefully, once they're the back at the bend,
Kalen. Yep.
yeah, that their numbers bump back up again. Uh, I'm just yeah, I guess moving forward, like to me that's the more preferred layout on that track. I think it promotes better battles, and yeah, just watching Aussie's in car stuff, he just how snappy the transition is and what sort of high speed it is. But then you got to settle the car real quick and get back on the power, or else you're actually going to
Mm.
fly off the track. So you really do have to
Yeah.
use you got to use that forward bite of the car to stop yourself from flying off the track after the transition.
Yeah. That's really you can really see that in Aussie's run. It was
Yeah,
really cool. I don't think he would do that in a battle, but
yeah, maybe
I
because
think
I
yeah.
spoke to Tom Hemmings the other night. He had a few dramas. Uh, Silly Tom has gone to a electronic throttle and a 350Z throttle, and is having having drum.
Why?
I don't know, and yeah, he's having issues with that. So it killed one, and then it seemed to kill another. I think it's the accelerator position sensor that, or foot position sensor. I think it's called, and he yeah had dramas with that, so he qualified well. Uh, and sort of watching the outer car footage at first, I thought it was a bit like a sort of layout that you wouldn't like that was too burnout. So I thought maybe they were transitioning a little bit sooner than what it looks like in Aussie's car. And I thought it was sort of more of a as soon as they'd hit that outside zone and then sort of keep on full throttle as you transition back and you sort of just roll right through it. But after seeing Aussies, there is a bit more of a throw to that second corner. So
Yeah.
actually very cool from in-car, and I think it does more justification. That
I think they tried to arc it because they go off the normal like regular
yeah,
course
they did,
on turn one, and then it goes into that sort of bitumen area,
but
which is
it'd be
off the
really
normal
easy to
course.
make it so that you sort of miss your clips and you end up just being able to do a massive sort of rolling burnout through that
Yeah, I know what you
section.
mean.
But
Yeah.
I think they by the looks of it from inside Aussie's car, which is easier to tell than any of the spectator areas, I think that zone second zone ended up a bit further out than what was traditionally like is sort of traditionally run when you run the sort of the 45-degree first corner as opposed to doing that big sort of just
Yep.
over a 180-degree first corner. So yeah, I thought that did that layout way more justification from there. But yeah, it's hard at Malala. I would have thought as for the judges it would have been nice to be able to be positioned probably somewhere else. I saw a couple of runs where just the lead car or just one of the cars in general just drop the clutch and just you can't see anything for a while.
Where were the judges? They're not in the tower, are they?
Nah, they were right down sort of You've been to Malala, right? I haven't been there.
Yeah, I've
Sort
been
of there's
twice.
yeah, so there's the grandstand that's sort
Yep,
of more on an angle as opposed to running parallel
yep,
to the front straight. I think they were in that grandstand, so a little bit more
yeah.
behind it, but it's still. I think they were able to get like a decent view, but probably just not the best view. And I think for spectators, that layout's a little bit harder to see because of the fact that yeah, the lead car just can smoke that place out, and then you don't see them again until after the transition. But I think they used that track the best way they possibly could without being allowed to run it backwards into the turn two hairpin and then
Yeah,
back out.
that'd be cool.
I think that's what they were potentially trying to do, is my
Yeah,
understanding from a few comments that have been made, but insurance wouldn't let them. But it sort of makes me laugh because if you're only running those corners, there's nothing to hit like out off turn two, no matter which
yeah,
way you
just
enter it.
goes straight into the field, and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, field of
Yeah,
nothing. So
yeah.
hopefully they can start to get that across the line and get some approval for running it that sort of way. So
Is it a CAMS course? It's the CAMS course. I don't think it's ever run,
nah,
but
yeah, maybe, but even if it's a CAMS course, it doesn't really matter. It comes down to whichever insurance company. I'd imagine if they ran under races, which I know they don't, I think they're under AASA, racer would just be like, "Pah, just send it whichever way you want to go. Just make sure you write it on the policy. That's the way you want to drive it." So.
yeah,
Um, But I'm glad the team drift thing hasn't sort of dropped off. It's sort of stuck around and seems to be going from strength to strength. So yeah, definitely good things happening over there. Won't go into it too much. Um,
do want to see more footage, more video, more content quicker from
yeah,
the SA events though, because I think the first one a lot of stuff did come out, but it wasn't. There was some live things, but these days a lot of things are streamed live, and I think just the audience.
yeah. I don't think it needs to be live because if it's like how do I want to put it? If the coverage isn't all that great, or some of the stuff being said is poor English or just bad, um, yeah, it's not really worthwhile. But considering, yeah, Racing Line is normally really good down there, I'm just surprised that hopefully if they can get some numbers up, which will mean the money's up a little bit, they can start
Yeah,
chasing that sort of stuff. And I think that's more what the issue is down there. So yeah, doing big things down there, and yeah, it'd be nice to get down there for a round because definitely some of the more exciting driving. These guys don't seem like they're not driving to win, in regards to just, drive at 80% and try and make their
mm,
way through. It's like push, push, push every battle. Uh,
yeah, completely
and
different style to some of the other events.
yeah, it's like, well, I'm either gonna win or look sick trying, rather than being like, I'm gonna hang back and just see what, like, just hope the other guy makes a mistake, or I'm too scared to get on door and damage my car. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen a rate like as much as shit we put um, on Dale for being conservative. I'm watching a video of him right now against Greenhill in the top four, and he's just absolutely run into his door on entry. I don't think Dale finishes around with a front bar, so put shit on him, but yeah, super aggressive driving. And um, Racing Line is based in Melbourne now, and they weren't able to make this last round. Well, that sucks. Um, but yeah, hopefully moving forward, they're able to get some more coverage because definitely, definitely more exciting. One of the photographers, Will Chamberlain, has just messaged me to say that he's trying to edit some stuff, but he keeps getting distracted. So I'm not sure if you
waiting.
mean video or, but yeah, definitely excited to see some more stuff come out from that. One of the other big things over the weekend was QR Matsuri was on, and before that little article came out, I was doing a video. He's like, "Oh, I'm excited for that one. Well, stop listening to our bullshit and just go do that." Um, uh, Seriously, we're just talking trash tonight, as opposed to other nights. Uh,
Depends who we have on.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a little article written about QR Matsuri and sort of the golden era and all that sort of stuff. Um, I just sort of shared it because I only
Yeah.
shared it. I
I
hadn't
don't
actually.
really agree with all of it.
I hadn't even read it
I know,
before
I know.
I hadn't read it before I shared it.
Ah,
Well, I only
okay. You
shared
need
it
a Blake.
no, well,
You need
yeah,
a Blake.
well, more so because I had sort of noticed that there wasn't a huge amount of different cards in some of the pictures I was looking at, and then Dylan had mentioned, oh, it seemed like the crowd at QR Matsuri was quiet, and then that article sort of popped up, and I'm like, oh, well, that sort of solidifies the fact that it was quiet. Um, yeah, I watched Jacob Peck's vlog
Yeah.
today, and it was yeah, you could just roll through the start line, and even at the end of Sunday, they ran Driftorama, so they opened up turn one.
Did you see the pits? Because he took some
Yeah, it
video of
was
the pits.
just
It
just
was,
empty.
yeah, it's hardly anyone there. And
Well,
but this is the quiet one.
yeah,
If you
but you can
remember.
remember even the quiet one when we were up there this time last year was pretty busy, and then I went to the busy one as well, and that was like really busy. In the
But there's
pits.
a lot of people wait for the busy one. They'll just hang out. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think that they'll they'll probably skip this one as the one that they can skip, and then go to the busy one.
yeah, more than likely, and considering they call it the Mudsuri normally because it ends up raining, and this one actually stayed dry, so uh, if you wanted seat time, that was the place to be. So
And they
yeah,
had uh passengers with tenders.
yeah. Well, there wasn't much. Didn't look like there was much passenger line when I was watching uh, Jacob's videos. So yeah, look, it makes me a little bit more keen to try and get up there for another Matsuri. But I'm
Makes you
guessing,
have insurance.
yeah, I will have whichever car I take insured.
And you camp in the car.
Yeah, probably, and just GPS trackers everywhere, and yeah, but I'm guessing that the next one will hopefully be a little bit busier. But a lot of the guys who normally build big for them have had halfway hangs, um, a few other bits and pieces. A lot of those guys who um, are normally doing that event have driven heaps lately, going out for the Adam LZ stuff uh,
Yeah.
at Archie and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
the Kamikaze guys, I know they were last minute getting cars put together and stuff like that. So um, yeah,
Yeah. There's upcoming events as well.
yeah, and then
So
with the bash
they
only.
could yeah, they could be saving or preparing
No,
their
well,
cars and stuff.
I know the Kamikaze guys ended up out there for short track on the Saturday night, and they were working hard on Saturday morning trying to get their cars ready to actually look decent when they went out there. So, and then I know the Gravy guys had the hit last year at one of the last days of the year at QR, so a few cars are still being worked on. So, uh, yeah, it's I don't think it means anything, and even some of the pictures that I've seen. The last one I was at last year, there was a lot more guys doing in sort of Commodores and uh, Falcons and stuff like that, and it didn't seem like a lot of those guys were out for this one. So it's not so much just the hot boys who went out there this time. It was just a lot of people in general who went out there. So I'm sure, yeah, the second one of the year will probably be busier. So I don't think anybody needs to stress too bad. So
No, I think it's one of those almost clickbaity type of articles.
yeah.
There's probably some truth in there, but then other things are dramatized. But that's what people like. They enjoy seeing that drama. People crash. People get upset.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And yeah, it's one of those. I don't think even many of the Normally, there's at least one group of New South Wales guys who goes up, and you normally hear about it. But I don't even think there was sort of anybody who made the trek up. Because normally you'd have the guys from last year. There was you guys and a couple of the newy guys who went up for the first one. The Curse guys went up for the second one. I think the year before.
I think
Um,
Revo went both times, didn't they?
no,
Last
only
year.
the first. Oh
No,
yeah, only
the
the
first.
first one.
Okay.
And yeah, the year before there was a few of the other groups from sort of Central Coast and stuff like that. More Western Sydney guys had gone up for one of them. So I think this time was a little bit more quiet with those ones. So yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. So don't stress on that one. Um, yeah, I think that's sort of all the events that we knew. I know,
Locally, anyway.
yeah, and I know there was an event on down at Barski with Drifting Taz. So,
I thought you'd
but I
want to
think,
bring up also the news about the FT electric car.
yeah, we will just a second.
Yep.
Blake's just said, do you think the pressure to impress is making these types of events stressful and just let it go and have fun? Honestly, there's those small groups who do that sort of stuff, and then the Saturday night used to be all about the going short track and doing retarded shit. But honestly, the last one I went to, uh, there was a lot of cars that aren't anything special. Like more than half the field would have been uh, Falcon Utes, Commodore Utes, old EL Falcon. I think the EL Falcon was out there at the one you were at as well. You know that sort of, that the BA pooey yellow sort of color. And there was a EL Falcon with a V8 or something in it. Pretty well set up. The guy could steer really well. But there's lots of cars like that, so it's not all about the hot boy style stuff. It seems like it is, and they're
No.
the guys who get the coverage because they're mates with the
Yeah.
guys taking the
No,
photos and stuff.
no,
But
no, they just get the coverage just because it looks cool. Like it's
yeah, but a lot of those
they
guys who are
get
doing
they
that
get
are
the
like,
views.
yeah, but S Chassis and all those sort of guys are all mates with those guys. All those social media pages are their friends.
Yeah,
So
but they're huge, and that's why it's what they want to see. So
um,
I don't
yeah,
think I think the pressure's normal, and I think if you want to be in that crowd, then you're giving yourself that pressure.
yeah. So I honestly don't think that's really a thing. So yeah. Um, yeah, let's talk a little bit more worldwide before we talk about our own stuff. We're keeping the episode fairly short tonight. Uh, the couple of things this week, the electric FD car, a little bit more info on it. I think we spoke about it last week. Um,
Yeah,
but
I think you did. I don't know much about it. It's
but I
all that
think I
speculation.
spoke about the fact that it was like it's a crate motor from well, it's going to be a crate motor from GM and stuff like that. I
Yep.
can't remember. I think we spoke about that on the episode. Uh, but yeah, driver's going to be the winner of Pro 2 from last season. And that guy had done really well the season before in Pro 2 as well, and just hasn't had the money to step up into Pro 1. And yeah, it's just gonna be interesting to see him in it. He normally drives a V8 powered S13, so going to a car with a whole lot of torque is gonna be good for him. But I just don't know how you're gonna drive a car that's silent. It's gonna be
It's gonna be weird
it's
because
gonna be really
one of the
interesting.
things I think I don't know how many people actually use a sense of sound to drive
You have
and
to.
change gears. Well, yeah, like if you have a car that
But even if you
the
don't
engine
think you,
doesn't
but even if you don't,
make that much sound,
yeah, even if you don't think you do, you sort of do.
you yeah you do yeah
I guess the closest thing I've driven to an electric car is I rented a Toyota Echo once from the airport and it was manual, and I haven't driven a whole lot of manual other than my race cars before, and all of a sudden you can't hear like the car's super quiet, so you're not sort of
all you hear is the tires against the road.
yeah, and you sort of don't get a huge amount of pull from it either. You sort of just think, oh, I'm up to this sort of speed, I should change gears now, as opposed to anything else. So maybe that's yeah. There's no way an electric motor has more torque than a V8, mate. Like, get back in your box, mate. Um, do you even know what drifting is? Uh, but yeah, I'm just super keen to see it. Supposedly that team as well, from more information that I'm hearing, is that they actually have um, a couple of like FD engineers and stuff like that from old teams helping them with the build. So they're a motorsport team who has a couple of cars racing in another program, and they've stepped into drifting, but they've actually brought some people on board. So they seems like they're pretty serious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Have
I
you
don't
seen
know.
any videos or other
No,
info about it?
but
That's what I really want to see.
but I'm pretty sus on it. I reckon it's been out testing. I reckon for sure it's been out testing, but they've just kept
Okay.
it all under wraps because even their social media stuff's been super quiet and they've just dropped bits and pieces. But there's no way they're gonna want to go out there looking stupid.
Yeah, and they've announced it, so they must. I reckon the FD guys have already seen the car.
Oh, for
And
sure. Like when there was that episode of Maximum Driftcast where they've spoken to the technical director, that like this stuff's been in talks for a long time
yeah,
because it's not just something you can step in and change the game on straight away. So
yeah, I reckon that at least 6 months. So it would have been. It's been running. Maybe not well, or maybe not like optimized, but at least it'll be like a car, something car-like with knuckles, and a bucket load of power, like
well,
an incredible amount of power.
and I guess the thing to remember too is with FD is you only get the 12 practice laps.
Oh
You,
yeah, on
you,
the
you
day before.
well, like overall, like
Yeah.
between well, they don't actually. So for Long Beach, they have media day on like Tuesday or something. It's only for people who've
Oh,
driven.
that's
They've
yeah,
only
and that's
driven Long
they
Beach
get
before,
extra practice to do the media laps, isn't it?
but you have to have
Look,
driven that track before. So
okay.
if you're new to the and Pro 2 doesn't drive on that track, and um, the yeah, so Pro 2 doesn't drive it. A few of the Pro 2 guys will have driven it by doing the sort of Motegi Super Drift the following week from the year before. Uh, and I don't know if Travis has driven that track before. I
Okay.
have a feeling he's based a little bit further out from. He's not on the west coast, so I don't think he has driven that track. So he probably is not allowed to do media day. So he's going to be restricted
I'm
to Friday practice.
sure in most competitions you get exemptions for things.
Yeah, potentially. Um, So my understanding for the people questioning if it has a clutch is I have a feeling it might have a clutch. So on this particular motor, from what I've seen, is a normal gearbox basically bolts up to the back of it, or a normal automatic transmission, and that's what they had on the drag car version of it. So they had like a normal racing automatic gearbox behind it. So with like a flex plate and all that sort of stuff. So if you can bolt a flex plate up to it, I'm pretty sure you can bolt a flywheel and a clutch up to it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my understanding. So I think they're sort of trying to break the ice a little bit with saying, I guess traditional, like half traditional, as opposed to going to a full electric setup like a Tesla motor that's normally bolted straight to the diff or bolted straight to the hubs. Um, so at this stage, it seems like it's a bolt-in option. I thought I said it last week, but some people might not have listened to last week's episode. It's looking like this motor from Chev is going to be a crate motor option, the same as you can still buy brand new small blocks, brand new big blocks, brand new LS1s, LS2s, LSAs, LSX, all from GM directly. I think this motor is going to be a buy from GM direct option. So yeah, it's going to be. So I think there's been a lot of questions about whether or not people are going to be able to, because I guess if you've got a Tesla motor, uh, Aaron from Lone Star Drift did a really good video talking about it. Like if you were to run like a Tesla type setup, your center of weight, like center of gravity, is on the floor because all your batteries are along the bottom of the car normally, or you can position them underneath the car, and then your motor's sitting just over the rear diff, or if it's a two motor one, it's it's sitting right in the hubs basically. So all your weight's super low, which would make it handle phenomenally, really.
Yep. And that means really fast flicks and transitions.
Yeah, and the car just won't want to roll over on itself. So
Yeah.
definitely excited to see. I'm super excited to see it. It's gonna be boring I think for anybody who's excited about development, it's going to be exciting for them. Anybody who just wants to watch cars drift, it's probably not going to be very exciting.
Mm.
It's sort of
Just
like,
like how Formula E is to Formula One.
yeah, but yeah, I guess in some ways,
Because people say it's not exciting to watch because it's so quiet. Like one of the things that they get out of going to that sort of event is the sound
yeah, but even to me,
and
Formula,
even the smell as well, like all the fuels.
but I'd rather go watch improved production or supercars a couple of years ago before sort of the bigger teams started running away with more and more money than Formula One. Like yes, Formula One's got all this noise, but once most of those cars roll out of the container and on track, you know who's going to be at the front for the rest of the weekend. Um, because that car, that manufacturer's car's best suited to that track or whatever, and then you never
Yeah.
see them again unless a motor or something spectacular happens. So the racing isn't great. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they make it work, and I think yeah, having Travis driving it is going to be definitely
Interesting.
yeah, definitely interesting. He's a good driver. Only reason he wasn't able to drive Pro 1 last year was because he didn't have the budget to make it work himself. So he's definitely no slouch. So yeah, definitely keen for it, and I think it will push a few of the more professional teams to have a look at some options, and I think it'll mean that if these guys come in and do well, it'll be interesting to see if some of those other race like motorsport teams start looking at something like a Formula Drift Super Series. Um, so yeah, that's yeah exciting. I'm like super pumped for FD season to start just because there's been well, it just not even this year
Because
about.
you love FD, that's
No, I
why.
do. I've been considering even thinking about going over for round two, um,
Which one's that one?
Atlanta,
Okay, yep.
and yeah, there's guys coming back like Blake just said. Pat Gooden's driving, Matt Fields, S4 old S14. Even that sort of thing is super interesting to me to see a guy like I think Matt Field is, from my understanding, is he's making that program work. Most of the time when you get somebody to look after a car or you borrow a car off somebody, you end up sort of bringing your own sponsors to the table. I guess that's what Chelsea did with in the second Mustang. He uh, had to bring the BC sponsorship to make that work, and I have a feeling that Matt is able to sell it to his sponsors that he's going to have double the amount of time or have some of his sponsors on that car as well to help make that program work, and it means he gets paid for that, and Pat gets a drive. I'm pretty sure Pat's bringing a couple of sponsors to the table, but
Okay.
it's just an interesting dynamic to see that some of these guys are able to now run workshops and make money from being able to sell space on their car to like even on a second car now. So, and I guess that's what Vaughan's done with the other Mustang as well, because Ford's chucking more money at that team. So I'm more excited for that side of things. Yeah, sometimes some of the driving can be a bit funky and some of the tracks go a bit how you going, but just yeah, it's the pinnacle of professional drifting. When it comes to car and team packages. Drift Masters and everything is super, is high quality driving and show and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't seem to have the same. It's still guys showing up with, flatbed car trailers and stuff like that to events where FD is
Yeah, I
mostly.
haven't
Um,
seen enough. I haven't experienced that much about.
and even your D1s and stuff is, and I guess, but it's Japan, so everything's sort of on a slightly smaller scale. But they're sort of showing up in more compact trucks, but I think that's just more of a Japan style uh, than anything.
Yeah, I think it's if they were in Australia, I think they'd have semis.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because they don't.
There's
It's
you
really,
probably you
it's
probably
really
can't
rare.
fit them under some of the overpasses and stuff in Japan either.
Even the roads, like, and then every time you see, just I guess is it a prime mover and a trailer?
Yeah,
It's like yeah, you kind of point them out because like wow, like you don't see those around.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess they do lots of little trips on smaller trucks and stuff like that. So
Yeah, well, they have really, really cool support trucks normally. So like a small a small truck that stick it up with maybe all their tools and their gear, but their car's just on like
A flatbed or something as well.
yeah. Well, they're on a double deck one normally.
Yeah.
So they normally bring 2 cars, most of the teams, and that's how they get around. It's really rare to see a car transporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maximum Driftcast also covered today. They spoke to the guy coming from Brazil, where Matt's built him a C7 Z06 Corvette, and basically the guy drives an old school Ford Mustang Fastback in Brazil, and it piqued my interest a little bit because he sort of spoke about the fact that they only run small tires. They're all fairly low power down there, and this guy's only been drifting 3 years and is about to drive FD. And he's talking about how this week he's deciding whether or not he runs a 285 or a 295, and we're not talking like a 285 35, so like a super skinny tire. We're talking like a 285 or a 295, like 45 or something with a huge sidewall, and it sort of really did remind me that FD's your Formula One or whatever of drifting. That's not taking anything away from D1 and Drift Masters, but they're sort of more your V8 supercar type series that are super professional, but it makes more sense to just keep them on a little bit more restricted to bring they could easily put V8 supercars on a way wider slick tire. They wouldn't get the wheel spin, and they'd be super fast around corners, super fast in a straight line, and they'd be way easier to drive because you'd just put your foot down flat and you'd never get wheel spin. But I think I think there's one place in the world for it. Let them have it in the US. Let them go big. Let them go retarded. Because it's really not sustainable for every drift series in the world that's at the pinnacle to go and run tires that big. Like I think if you priced up 295 45s in Australia, you would be paying like $500 a tire or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it would be like per tire. It would be stupid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's...
and I think it's needed because after speaking to Jack Shanahan and him being close with James Dean, like James has told Jack that it's like a whole different level of grip. Like it's on its own completely own level compared to running a 265.
As long as it's not getting people to the point where they can't keep participating.
But that's why I'm saying it needs. But if it stays in something like an FD, that's where it needs to be, and do it one place
because it's capable.
Yeah, and if you know, and it's the same reason like Daigo going to taking the Chaser to Russia. It's the only high level Premier Series that you're allowed to run a car that's had been that heavily modified. I saw somebody on the Maximum Driftcast discussion page be like, well, why isn't there an unlimited drift class running in the world? Like, why isn't somebody just going, let's run an unlimited drift class? But it just turns into Formula One at that stage, and Formula One is
Formula One's regulated.
Yeah, it's regulated, but yeah, all of a sudden you're just gonna have a couple of teams who have the money to do it, and it's like, well, but other people can do then whatever they want to do, and then they don't have to worry about budget. And people who don't have money can do it, and it's like, well, not really, because these people with money will just keep tweaking and doing all sorts of little things to make their package the best. So, no, Connor, you can't take the Aprilia to Russia. I'm pretty sure it's still got to be rear drive.
Take the Aprilia to Russia.
I'm pretty sure he's on your team, mate. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's sort of all where it needs to be, and it sort of hearing the Brazilian guy talk reminded me that your series from all your other countries don't need to go that crazy. They've just got to produce good drivers, and then the good guys will still find their feet on the more grip, crazier tires, all that sort of stuff. So I'm interested to see how he goes. He's either going to perform really well, mediocre, or he's going to put that car into the tire wall at the end of the first straight really early.
You've just covered everything that he can do.
Yeah, but that's the three options. That's realistically the only three things that can happen. So I'm kind of hoping that he actually absolutely kills it and he's really good because it will sort of be more of a testament to the fact you don't need to be on stupid tires with stupid power. After listening to it, I was super interested to see what the driving in Brazil was like, and jumped on YouTube and had a look at some of their rounds from last year. And they look, I'm pretty sure some of the cars are like pretty stock, like 350Zs and stuff like that. Like I looked
This is
at,
the this is a country that has a course that has a big winding
yeah,
downhill.
I watched that round. They sort of start
Yeah,
uphill. They do the first entry. Um, it's sort of uphill the first hairpin, and then it's like three hairpins down the hill,
the
and
elevation change is very dramatic, isn't it?
huge, probably like 30 meters.
Oh, it was more than that.
30
It was
meters
like
is a long way.
it was like straight.
Yeah, yeah. But like it looked like just basic lock mods on a 350Z and stuff like that. It definitely wasn't Wisefab on the cars, the couple that I saw. And then yeah, he was in a like 60 something Mustang on fairly skinny tires, and then one of their rounds was just this tiny little car park thing. So it's not a crazy series. So seeing somebody like him come in, like where most of the guys who have come in from overseas previously have either been Japanese guys who are used to the big tracks and using the, I guess, old school formula tracks that Japan built during sort of the 80s and 90s. Uh, your guys from Norway who have the track that Gap Wheels run at that's super fast, so they're fairly comfortable with all of that speed. Uh, and then yeah, some of your other guys have who are international have grown with that series and been there since the early days, and sort of like your Dean Kearneys and some of those other Irish guys who used to be there sort of grew as with the series as it grew. So it started on smaller tires and now it's gone to what it is. So they've sort of got used to it. There hasn't been, I don't think there's really been guys who have come from a slightly, that sort of background to go over, and that's going to be super interesting to see. See, I think somebody like a Fink who hasn't driven on a tire, oh, he may have driven on a tire that big, would go and settle real quick because he's got those years of experience in all sorts of things behind him. This guy's been driving 3 years, so, uh,
Mm.
but he's got Monster Energy backing and he's a businessman, so he knows what he's doing. So,
It could be one of those stupidly talented freaks that just get in anything and drive really well.
yeah, and a rich one at
Annoying
that. So,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that I'm pretty interested for. So, no, I'm excited to see the season start.
Is that
Uh,
when does that kick off?
3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Okay.
I think the first weekend of April. Yeah, first weekend of April. Uh, fifth and sixth. So for Aussie time, it'll be
It's
6th and 7th.
and that's Long Beach, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
normally the
yeah,
first round.
yeah. Long Beach first round. So,
Okay.
um, I guess one of the other international. Anything else in FD you want to cover? Not really.
I
No.
have no
All right.
idea. I don't really follow it, but I think yeah,
And
next
then
international thing.
uh, International Drift Cup's been, or Intercontinental Drifting Cup has been announced again,
Yep.
and they're
They
moving
said the
from.
course. Yep.
Have they? Well, they've set the track, like where that's located,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they've set
Yeah. When I
the.
say the course is in the circuit, so
Yeah,
I had to move because the Olympics is being
2020
held in Tokyo next year,
Yep.
and they're doing. I don't know
It's
what they're
being
doing,
being
but
repurposed or something like that. I think they
yeah,
got I think even a volleyball stadium or something might be actually being set up there or something weird like that.
I hope they're just using that car park area, not knocking down some of the other things that are
The
there.
infrastructure there. No, I think isn't it like a you can tell us what's there, but isn't it like a entertainment-y type business
Yeah,
district?
it's really cool. Like it's there's shopping centers and there's a Toyota showcase as well as a history, like a small car history museum. You can see like it's not very big, but it's definitely like really it's close to Tokyo, to the center of town. You can get there pretty easily, and it's entertaining for most people. That's why hopefully they don't knock that down because the Toyota showcase isn't like whenever I go there, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering when's it gonna shut
Well,
down. But
I would imagine that they're probably trying to put a venue in there to try and push for like to revitalize that area once the games is over. So it's being moved to Tsukuba. I'm
Yep.
probably butchering the name of it.
No, you got
Um,
it pretty good.
uh, and yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what they run. I'm not a fan, to be honest. I'm not that excited that that's where they're going because I'm not wanting a more high speed track. But I think even when D1 goes there, they do some
They
funky
do some weird shit.
Yeah, they do some weird shit
They,
with some like. Well, I
I don't
guess
know.
the last time
What
that they went there, they did the last corner, the front straight was a no, like
drift.
no drift, no score zone type thing,
Yeah.
and then they did the next section. I think the year before they had done something similar to that, but it was like you did the first corner in that next little complex,
There
and
was
then a
like
no drift
one.
section, yeah, or something like that, and
Yeah.
then so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Have you been there?
No. See,
Okay,
every time I intend to go there, I get talked out of it. Not by our group, just other people. They say, "I
yeah,
don't bother spending your time going to that event."
yeah,
So
okay.
I've never been there. I do want to go there, but I think yeah, it's probably the advice we're getting is just saying that we should go. If we go, we should go to a good event. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad experience with it.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess their crowd numbers haven't been huge. My only worry for that venue was maybe the spectator areas aren't that great, but I haven't been there, so I don't
It's
know. And you would, yeah. So
I would no, I
yeah,
haven't
no,
been, but I thought it was I thought the spectators really good. If they use the right area, it's,
you can probably have a good crowd.
yeah, like I would definitely use the inside area. I think
Yeah,
if
sort
it
of
was
like after turn one through that next section rather than. But I guess
yeah.
but previous years they had done under the bridge, right?
Yeah, they used to do like the snake up to the last corner, and that was
Yeah,
kind of cool too. But I think that there's not much spectator areas up
yeah,
that end.
okay. And I know they've even run that same section backwards towards the
Yeah,
bridge.
that's it. And then
So
I think Glasgow, no, it was
somebody's had a big off there, have they?
yeah, and
Ah.
I think it was in the final. Yeah, I can't remember who, but yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there was a big off there,
Yeah, so
going backwards. So I'm not sure if that.
probably avoid that, and the FIA probably wouldn't like that all
We're
that
fine.
much.
You're right. They've got foam barriers. The car's fine. Those foam barriers are awesome. They should put that
Just
here.
everywhere, just on every street corner,
Yeah.
so we can just go ham everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
So
we're
that
in, everyone likes doing burnouts.
maybe against some trees for some certain drivers in Mexico. Um, I don't know if he's listening anymore. I think he's been and gone.
Yeah.
Ah, damn, he's gone.
Yeah.
Uh, and they've moved it to November, so which would mean the guys from FD would potentially be able to
Did
make
they
it.
move it? I thought
Um,
there was a complaint. Someone complaining that. Oh no, that was World Time Attack. Was the same as SEMA, wasn't it?
yeah, same as SEMA, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, hopefully that move works. But my is Tsukuba more south?
No, well, no, it's in between. You've been to Japan,
Yeah,
so you would land at Narita.
yeah, and I've been to Osaka as well.
So it's just in between. It's kind of in between Narita and Tokyo, little bit north.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah,
just worried about what the weather would be like in sort of mid-November.
it'd be cold.
Yeah, it'll be cold, just not snowing or anything.
No, it doesn't really snow
No, in
out there.
Yeah, too much pollution.
It doesn't get cold enough.
Yeah, I know. I've been in Tokyo in March, which is sort of around the same sort of time, just coming off the end of
Yeah,
winter as opposed to going into winter.
yeah. I think it's still like it'd be snowing there by then in November. In Japan it'd be snowing, but not in that area.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Get an early, like real early, because I've been there in December and I've had snow come down, but it doesn't settle.
yeah, yeah. Just because you're too hot to handle, mate.
I think the first case was right. There's too much pollution.
Probably. That's why it doesn't snow in China. Um, but yeah, that's good to see that they've made some changes to that event to hopefully create some interest. I think that's the end of their 3-year stint with it, so it'll be interesting to see.
2 years plus one.
Hmm?
It was two
Three?
years plus one,
Well,
wasn't
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and this is the third year.
it? Yeah. And then it was I don't think this plus one was that Japan's decision, was it?
Yeah, I honestly have a feeling that no one else really wants it. The only other, I don't think, look, for that intercontinental thing, the US is the best place to have it. The US or Russia is the two of the best places to have it, but I'm not sure FD would necessarily want it at this stage. I think the best place for the competition to actually take place. So I think, oh sorry, when I say US and Russia, I'm saying you get a good crowd, you could get a really good venue, that sort of stuff. Uh, for just an event in general, I think one of the best places would probably be to use one of the venues or one of the places that they're using for European Drift Masters would probably be the best place because
Yeah.
you sort of you cut down a lot of your costs
Yeah.
for you could easily heavily subsidize other cars coming across because you end up with less cars coming across by holding it in Europe than by having it elsewhere.
Mm,
By doing it in the US, it just gets really expensive for getting cars across.
yeah, for international people.
But if you put it in Europe, then yeah, and you can move it around, and I guess even the FIA is based out of Europe in France, so
Yeah.
it would just make a little bit more sense to go I think there, and I sort of hope that the guys running European Drift Masters give it a serious look because I think that might be where it's best to go. The US is I always feel like, and after living in the US is best left to do its own sort of thing. Um, no, but they do everything.
Yeah, I agree.
They do their own
Um,
things well. Like they create their own sports, like NFL, all that sort of stuff, and they've got the population to sustain that sort of thing. But when it comes to international things, they're not all that familiar with. They don't like other people's styles of things so
I
much.
don't. No,
So
it's their way.
so as
And
much
then
as I'd love to see it run in the US and getting a like a sick crowd at some crazy venue because American fans are just absolutely spastic, I think
yeah.
European fans and even Russian fans are probably just as passionate. So you could
Oh
probably
yeah.
you'd probably get a really good one there. Japanese people, you're all boring. Um, way too nice, way too sensible, and just sort of way too polite. Drifting needs a little bit more bogan. So.
Uh, Japan's filled with bogan drifters. Like,
Yeah, yeah, drifters themselves, but I'm talking about people
yeah, but
like
like,
they're
yeah,
filling 10,000 people in 10,000 to 20,000 people at a
it's in
drift event.
the wrong spot for those Japanese bogans to
Yeah,
get to.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in the middle of city, so
they don't
if
go there.
if it's like if you run a rounding event at Circular Quay in Sydney,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just not a place that they normally go to.
someone like Logan from Penrith just wouldn't be interested in going in there.
No, no. But then if you ran it out like the Panthers Club or something,
Yeah, they'd all be there,
yeah,
just punching on in the car park outside Macca's.
then you'll see some passion. um, so is that all for the
Yeah, I think
IDC?
yeah. But so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But a long way away from that happening. But at least it's given people time to sort out trying to go.
And, and then they don't have to. Then they shouldn't complain that their country
Not
didn't get
enough
it. So
notice, all
yeah,
that sort of business. Um, and then this week we've seen two Supras,
yeah, the new Supras.
two new
Sorry,
Supras.
BMW.
um,
It's like every time I look at it, I just see BMW with a Ferrari front.
really? I don't know. I really like it. The back still reminds. The back gives me a little bit of the Lexus feel. So it sort of throws your Toyota away a little bit. Um,
And then like the interior is like to me, it's kind of cool, but kind of poorly planned.
well, I'm pretty sure Daigo's interior is HGK's dash out of something else.
Oh, okay.
Not I don't even think it might be their FT86 one or it might be something else. So that's what I've heard about that one. But I said in our little group chat last night, there was already announcements weeks ago that there's a company doing off-the-shelf uh, JZ swaps, so you could just buy mounts for them, and you can't even
Yep.
buy them publicly yet, like buy the car. So
Yeah.
when Daigo stuff started popping up, and it was pretty obvious what the car was purely out of the structure of the engine bay and things like that, I started questioning, well, is there a reason that Toyota has gone with the BMW motor and has just gone, well, with all the world efficiency testing now for emissions and all that sort of stuff, did they not want to waste their time trying to develop something that could be modified when they still currently sell bottom ends off the shelf for 2Js? So for them, is it more lucrative to sell people this car and then be like, hey, while you're buying this company
Yeah.
sells off the shelf engine mounts and will sell you a crate motor while you're here.
Yeah.
So, and then they don't have to pass any of those emission tests and do the dodgy stuff that bloody VW did with the diesels and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So that sort of spiked me a little bit, being like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe there's a reason. Like everybody's like, oh, we would love to see in a 3J, but how do you like? Why bother fixing something that's already good
Mm.
and really proven for them? Like it would be like,
People are still using it now, and
yeah,
then
but it'd be like GM going back and totally redesigning the LS for what purpose when it does everything that they ask it to do.
yep,
So yeah, I was a little bit sus on that.
except
So
parts emissions.
yeah, well, yeah, and I guess that's why they've moved towards like electronic shutdown of cylinders and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, for me, I think there's a really good chance that Toyota's used it as a way to cut their costs of getting that car out. But if an
Yeah,
enthusiast
and
and if
I think it makes it cheaper as well. So then they can sell it cheaper, and then they'll just get more units out, and then they can sell more stuff.
yeah, more
Yeah.
2Js and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and it'll be interesting to see if, because I know with the GT86 you could buy like a, I don't know if you ever saw it, but you could buy like a really crappy one that just came on stock wheels,
Yeah. 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 Yep.
unpainted bumpers,
Yep.
I think no
Yep. Yep.
interior, like a few things like that. Like, and you could actually buy it off the floor like that.
Yeah.
And
Toyota. Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm guessing that you're probably going to be able to do something similar with this car, and you could probably package it with, uh, yeah, fuck. When I say that GM didn't redesign the LS, and I understand it's called the LT, a lot of their base stuff around it wasn't changed, and it ended up just being electronic stuff that was done purely for emissions. So, and there's a reason they still continue to sell crate motors. Um, so yeah, like why go crazy spending all this money trying to do that sort of stuff? They don't manufacture LSs anymore. You need to check GM's website and see that you can actually buy crate motors still. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see Daigo's car's already been out and been testing.
It
Wisefab was
looks
given
cool.
Wisefab did a lock kit in 30 days, and it looks like it works.
I reckon it's just a BMW unmodified.
Oh yeah, well I'm pretty sure it looks like uh, the steering rack is in front of uh, at the front of the cross member, not behind it. So it sort of gives you all those benefits of that. Um, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what it's used in. I know it's being used for D1 Showdown, but we will see where Daigo's one ends up, because Daigo doesn't seem to commit to one series. He sort of goes around and enjoys it for what he can, and then Kawabata's also
Yep.
building one.
But his one's in the build, I think, because that's the video I saw. I don't know. I don't think that video is too old, but I don't think it's finished yet. And that's Wisefab as well. with the 2J,
Yeah,
which is it's interesting because he seemed more like a Nissan type of guy, but I've seen him drive other cars, but I thought maybe the GTR, like he would continue through with the GTR with the two-car team with what's his name? With Masayo Sunaga. So
but he's like I guess he's never has he ever been was he backed by Nissan with the GTR?
no,
Okay, so
I don't think so. I think it
okay,
was. Oh, I reckon there would have been some sort of deal, but
but yeah, he wasn't like a Darren Kelly or something like that that
no,
had
because it was
it was
what
Toyo
was
tires.
yeah, that was the major thing. So I think
It was more
maybe
from
they've yeah
wanted something more modern and keeping sort of at the forefront with cars, I guess.
yeah that sort of thing. But who knows? I don't even know. I'm just sort of speculating. So,
Uh,
but
yes,
before that, he had the 180, and
yeah.
that was cool. S15, that was cool. But they weren't Nissan only. Like they weren't Nissan backed. I don't think any car is manufacturer backed
Yeah.
in D1. They're all
Oh, well, I would
a
imagine,
workshop or a
but I would imagine Toyota's thrown that car at Daigo
yeah
or
yeah
given him some form of offer to, because after speaking to Kengushi at Cash Kings last year, Toyota's still pretty serious about being number one manufacturer in even FD. So
really
yeah, like I'm like, oh, surely like the manufacturer's stuff is not taken that serious, and he's like, nah, Toyota like wants to keep that sort of stuff. So um,
far out.
yeah, I was surprised. I honestly thought for a lot of that they wouldn't have cared too much, but yeah, clearly still
Hey,
care.
do you reckon because they've got engine mounts? Do you reckon that they'll put 2Js into Z4s?
But I don't think the engine bay is the same, right?
I don't know. It just looks to me, it's just like
But
it's a fucking BMW with a Ferrari front.
But Michael Esser tried for a couple of seasons to get a Z4 working properly in FD, and that car was a bucket. Um, so
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the new Supra. I haven't really seen a Z4. I've seen them on. I might have seen them on the road, but I have no idea. They look so similar though. Like it really, the silhouette is to me is a BMW silhouette,
I,
not a
thi-
Supra.
I don't know
'Cause
if the
a
Z4 is a
Supra,
little bit shorter, maybe.
I know what you mean, but I thought that was just like the styling that made it look longer because of the nose is a Ferrari style. It, I don't know if you can see that because like I imagine if there's a new Supra, it look more like a GTR.
Yeah, but like the GTR is huge.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is like I imagined the new Supra if besides this like if they didn't have this one, that it would look like a GTR. It would be chunky, it would be big, maybe not four-wheel drive, but like definitely real fat and sort of that it would be like an 8.6 beefed up on steroids kind of thing, like really fat.
What's the abbreviation for this new Super again?
A90,
A90?
I think.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's any dimensions on wheelbase.
Are you comparing to the Z4A?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
sure people already looked it up and they said no.
Wheelbase 2,470. Z4 is actually longer.
Oh, really?
2,495.
Wow.
Yeah, that's surprising. And then the generation before is 2,550. Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm surprised Z4 is actually longer in wheelbase, but
Hmm. Weird.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, very cool to see one. Oh, I'd love to drive one just to see what it'd be like. maybe we can use our clutch chick name to try and get onto like a Toyota test drive thing. Yeah,
Oh,
because we're so influential.
uh, I'll I'll speak to I'll speak to my mate Ken.
Okay.
Considering I made him lose twice, I'll blame Steve. But yeah, two of them coming out. I'm sort of interested to see if Ken ends up driving one in FD, to be honest, because his stuff's been seems pretty quiet. But I'm guessing he probably won't have one until the following season. So
Maybe, or
um,
maybe he's still on the electric
the electric
890
Supra.
Supra. Yeah.
Nah, he's gonna have the self-driving one.
So he just has to sit in the car.
Yeah. Nah,
Okay.
I think he likes steering too much, but um, nah, it's looking like yeah, his stuff's staying the same for now.
Okay.
A lot of close-up pictures of his engine bay though, so. But I'm guessing, yeah, Toyota is probably gonna chuck some cars at some people who aren't sort of sticking to a series, and then after that, they'll sort of start pushing worldwide a little bit. I'm guessing. So I think FD will see them next year. Uh,
You should get one.
yeah, something like that.
Just ask them. Just ask them. Just say, just tell them who you are.
I got no money, mate.
No, you're not going to pay for it. Just say
Do you know who I
that,
am?
yeah, and pretty much, and like, I'm going to do these comps, and I'm going to win,
All,
and
all
I've
the
won this, and I've won that, and
yeah, all them comps. Um, yeah, I think that's all I sort of wanted to cover with sort of the
that's a
goings-ons.
big section of news this week.
Yeah, it's like lots of stuff of interest, so that we sort of have been happening over the last few weeks, but you sort of lose. Oh, the other big thing, Wartime Attack was finally announced. But I don't know
Yes.
if we I don't know if we spoke about it the other week when it happened, but um, I think my understanding is they've got a new somebody else in charge of helping compared to previous years, helping in the background to get pick drivers and stuff like that. Um,
But that's
and
what happened 2 years ago, didn't they? Are you talking about drifting or?
yeah, for the drifting. So
Yeah,
they've got
okay.
somebody who's sort of at the moment, like I know he's asked a mate who he'd like to see come from overseas and stuff like that. So yeah, at the moment they're sort of trying to work out who they can get to come from overseas. It's a shame for me personally. It's a shame that it's the same weekend as FD final, but um, I just hope this year that they give it a little bit more time rather than cutting it off at 9 p.m. like they did last year for both
On
days. So
Friday. Yeah.
um, and Harry, I would rather see drifting on North Circuit for World Time Attack because South Circuit as a spectator sucks.
Yeah.
Everything like to sit in a good spot, you feel so far away.
Yeah. I wish they used more. I wish we could go on the inside of South Circuit as well.
No, you just ask for a media accreditation.
No, like it's just a normal spectator. Build a bridge and
Yeah.
so spectators
Oh, for
can.
South Circuit. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
thinking. Sorry, I was thinking for North. Yeah, yeah, but I'd rather see it stay on North because it's just a better. Or I guess if that bloody four-wheel drive track wasn't on turn two, I'd love to see just a Jap style comp on turn two, turn three, just two corners and sort of a big entry, and then sort of try and tuck in for two corners would be a good
Yeah,
layout. But
but what time it take? Like this sort of thing is just like a show. It's
yeah,
not
it's a
really.
display.
Yeah, it's not. It is a comp, but and it is. You know, people are competitive about it, but
Or
you know,
my
it's
idea,
yeah.
where you surface the whole width of the front straight onto the grass. I know it makes it a whole lot slower, but then you
Mean,
then then you end up running a comp on the front straight and everybody can sit in the bleachers.
nah,
I think
nah,
that nah, I think it'd be cool.
nah,
I think it'd be good for the general punter. From a
nah.
driver's point of view, it'd probably suck a
You,
little bit, but
that'd be just no. You just get R31s and
and
just
just
munge
run
it
into
down
each
that.
other.
Yeah, and that's it.
No, not mungie down it, but you surface it right
Yeah,
up.
a bit mungy and a bit of loop and then mungy back, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Welcome to most drift events around the world now.
Oh, that you're just talking about FD. That's all.
No, FD only has circles. They don't have car parks. Um, yeah. So yeah, wartime attack back on, and yeah, currently trying to work out
Or
who they're gonna get come from overseas.
North Circuit reverse.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that if you sort of run too far inside, you could curb hop that center island like it looked like Mad Mike was going to do that year. He decided to drift it backwards. Remember during the victory burnouts, he like full skidded it backwards.
Would you be entertained?
Oh fucking oath I
That
would
happened.
be.
Well, there you go.
So,
It is. I think it is proven to be dangerous because didn't a guy do like a high speed run up the straight and then
well, it
this
used to be
isn't dragging. Yeah,
well, it used to be
on
the
that
drag
big
strip,
track.
so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, yeah.
And then he couldn't make the turn. He just went straight into the. I think his brakes failed and went straight into the wall.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Considering it's an uphill, that's a bit retarded. Yeah. So we'll start sort of wrapping this up. Revo this weekend, you're still fighting car issues.
Yeah, two cars. Well, one car because I want to take my 180. But I took it for a test and the car just died while I was testing it, which sucked because I thought, yeah, this is sorted. I've got the wheel alignment sort of somewhat okay, even though it's for. I feel like I set the wheel alignment for a slow section, so I don't know how to go fourth gear at Wakefield. But yeah, until I get this wheel alignment work. Oh, that's right. If you see anyone that has those wheel alignment clamps for sale, I need to get some. But I need to get the old style one. And I've been looking for that for ages, and the only place I can find is on Alibaba. But for some reason, I can't actually sign up to send a message about it.
Are you talking about like the sort of jig tile style setup ones that sort of you mount to your radiator support or to the boot, and then it just has like the string aligners off it?
No. I've got a wheel alignment machine, but I
Yeah.
don't have any wheel clamps for it.
Ah,
Old style, which so there's a spindle on it, but the spindle's on the aligning machine, not on the clamp side. So apparently, putting the spindle on the clamp side is a new style, and people don't only sell the new style clamps. I did actually get some replies, but the price for each clamp is too expensive for me. It's like $650
so you buy a whole,
per
you have a whole wheel alignment.
machine. Yeah.
You're so special.
Yeah, really. So like a wheel aligner. So he got this wheel alignment for $800, and then if I split it between my friends. If we get wheel alignments, I don't know how much wheel alignments are in Sydney or elsewhere, but in Canberra, it's about $70 or $80 for a wheel alignment. So, if we get two wheel alignments, and that's $140 to $160, and it all sort of adds up. So it's just sort of cost effective to buy a second-hand machine as long as we could find those wheel clamps cheap enough. Yeah. So sorry, getting back to the 180. The car died. I think it's a fueling issue, and I did order a replacement fuel pump because I think the pump is underperforming. But I'm going to try a few other things to see if I can get the pump to increase pressure somehow. But I'm not sure. I'll definitely get there. I'll definitely take a car because I still have a 32.
And have you done a water pump on it yet?
I've got a water pump.
At least do it the night before so that it has time to.
Nah,
seal.
it's alright. No, it's fine. Hey, think of it this way. If you take a car to a mechanic, you don't expect the mechanic to have your car ready the next day. you expect your car to be, if you go get your water pump done, you want to pick it up that afternoon.
You're a fucking retard.
Yeah, don't you?
The
Isn't
water,
that true?
how long is a water pump to do? An
Yeah,
hour maybe?
RB's longer than SR. So
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of SR. SR's like right there, boom, straight off.
no, so the RB is behind a timing cover and belt. That's not a really big issue. It's just a bit more time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you could probably get it now anyway.
Yeah, I would do it
It's
because the car
nowhere near-
also overheat. So
Yeah, if that's the issue.
I would probably hazard a guess that that's one of your major issues.
How about you? You coming down?
Yeah, I'm gonna come down and hang out. I don't think I'll be ready with a car.
Your engine didn't turn out.
Yeah. The motor I bought from WA wouldn't turn by hand last Thursday, and then the boys didn't touch it until Monday, and pulled one of the covers off the front, and it looked like some fancy shit you'd see on Nat Geo. And
The underwater specials.
yeah, it dead set. Nah, it was like one of those cave specials, like
Okay.
crystallized, blah blah blah, whatever shit. Some blue crystals, blue and white crystals, all through all the water galleries, and then yeah, it looked like somebody had taken massive shit inside most of the bores. So yeah, that rev up motor, cactus, no good. See you later. Thanks for playing. So I asked that motherfucker for some money back, and luckily he's given me some money back. Motherfucker won't give me all my money. I was planning on trying to save the heads, and then when I priced all that up, it was going to be pretty expensive to get the head serviced because it's two heads and all that sort of stuff.
Why?
I don't know, they price it as two separate heads. So
Yeah, it is. Would be
what?
too-
Yeah, yeah, it's two separate heads, but I don't understand why it would be any more expensive than doing an RB
Just-
or a
Yeah, like two RBE heads. You mean?
yeah, like just the same as one RB head. Like it's the same number of cylinders.
Wait. When you're talking about head service,
Yeah.
what are you talk? What are they doing? What are you
Like
asking? What are you asking?
like cleaning up
Okay.
valves and doing all that sort of stuff,
Okay. All right.
and a
so
skim
and
and
then,
like all that sort of stuff.
okay, so and yeah, you'd need that sort of thing. Yeah, because it's
Yeah, it's rusty.
yeah.
So, and I was gonna try and put those rev up heads on the standard VQ bottom end, which would actually make a better motor because on the rev ups they use cheap, shitty piston rings, and on the early motors they use good piston rings. That's why the rev ups tended to have the oil issues, and probably why we should have brought out the block with no oil in it. Because
Yeah, I read about that because I remember you were talking about the rev up motor, and then we were talking about that. So
so
I looked up, and then it says, "Be careful of oiling issues with the rev up motors." It's like everywhere.
I put like another liter in it later in the day.
Apparently, just leaks out oil.
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
yeah, somewhere.
So there may or may not have been another 350 floating around the internet for cheap, and instead of
Hey, it's Jake. Jake's online. Jake Jones.
hi Jake, I'm in the middle of a good story here,
Okay.
and so instead of spending all that money on the service, I bought another car. So now I have two 350s, one that doesn't work and one that works.
You're turning into me, you know.
Yeah, I am,
And, all these other guys that you hang out
but
with
if
one semi-working car and a
No,
broken.
well, look, let's be real. The first 350 is never going to run again. Like, I'm not bothering with it. So, my current plan is to strip it for anything that I can damage, and then probably scrap the shell or see if somebody wants to take the shell or pay me for the shell or whatever. But I will pull off basically everything that I could possibly need for this other car. So doors, bars, side skirts, rear bars, front radiator support, lights, all that sort of stuff. Maybe even some fuses and relays and little bits and pieces like that. And then, yeah, the other car actually works already. So just got to swap some parts over from the old car, and then we should be good to go. But I'm not planning on this weekend. I'll just come down and hang out. So, yeah, yeah, I'm turning into you, mate.
And all the other guys.
Yeah, nah, this is it for me. Like, if this is not it, then I'm over it. So,
They'll be back.
but I was thinking about it and
Yeah.
looking at the numbers on it, and I think they make 214 or something from factory, which I'm guessing that's to the fly.
And yeah.
So it loses a little bit down the motor. But last Matsuri, my car was only making right on 200 because we
No.
did, yeah, because we
No
did,
way.
no, not the one at the start of last year, the last one I went to, because when we
Yeah.
when we
With that
changed it,
turbo.
no, because we done changed to the standard head and we like pulled it right back to, and it kept still wanting to burn plugs, so we pulled it right back to get it to actually run and work properly. So we were sitting right on 200 kilowatt the last Matsuri I was at. So this is probably not that far off that. So yeah, I should be fairly happy and fairly competent with that. And then
So you still have more power than us.
yeah, and then my plan is if I'm going to go to bigger places, maybe considering I've got an aftermarket ECU that is currently doing nothing for it, maybe I'll put on some spray just for the big tracks. Or when I'm being chased by you and I want to get away from you before my big handbrake drag.
Nah, you'd be right. If that much power, that's heaps.
No, I know, but I'm just talking more for like a Winton if you can hit the sweeper or turn one, turn two at QR or places like that. So, but look, that's long term. So, yeah, that's hopefully going to be back up and running. This stage, I'm definitely going to have a car going for. Definitely going to have the car going for the bash. So that makes me happy. So.
And then we can bash into you as well because you'll have lots of spares.
Yeah, they're just a different color, but that's okay. Just a different. My 350Z career at the moment is 50 Shades of Grey. Somebody commented, yeah, there's D1s this weekend. I honestly didn't look at it that closely. I'm guessing that's where Daigo's car's being readied for. I wonder if you have wide body for that. I think that's the show.
Yeah,
That's a D1 showdown thing, right?
I don't know. I've been busy trying to do my own thing.
You're supposed to be Japan one.
Nakamura's also has a new car entered for D1 as well.
Does he?
Yeah.
What's he driving? Or just driving the S15?
S15.
The one that he drove at Time Attack then.
Oh shit! Yeah. I forgot about that car.
But what do you mean? Like,
yeah, because he had the S14, remember, with the 2J.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Nakamura would go to FD and walk everybody in a SR20. Haven't you heard all the fuckboys online?
See, I don't know. Like, it's really not what they're actually. You know how like there's criteria that judges ask for, and then there's actually what they want. Like they don't say. I don't think Nakamura will hit those things.
Where at Time Attack?
No, at FD.
Oh, like you're just saying he wouldn't give a shit.
No, yeah, well, it's not that he wouldn't. Well, yeah, he wouldn't give a shit for one, but that's because he's doing his own thing. And it's not so his own thing wouldn't be the style that the FD judges would reward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But at Time Attack, he listened to what he was told to do.
No, he didn't.
Well, he stayed on the track.
Yeah, that's all he did.
Except when he was in the chase, but that was in the chase.
Yeah. No, he just did his own thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I just love the fact that everybody thought that he'd never drive with like a big horsepower car and stuff like that. Oh, D1 NZ is this weekend, and then D1 GP. See, I'm so out of the loop at the moment. I'm too busy buying retarded cars.
Jake Jones is going to D1NZ.
Well, that's who said it. But I don't think that's the round he's driving, isn't this weekend?
Yeah, I don't
This is
think
the
so.
one
I
after
think
that.
it's yeah.
Yeah. So Jake Jones is going to D1NZ.
Big news.
Don't say anything negative. Do you know? Does he even know? Does he even know how to drive Toyotas? I've only ever seen him drive a Nissan.
Did he
Maybe.
drive a Lexus in Japan?
Oh, he drove a Supra. I know.
Oh,
He knows how
that's
to.
the Advan one.
Nah.
Is it Advan?
Maybe. So he clearly knows how to drive a Toyota then, so he might be okay. But
Maybe.
on the, I'd be a bit worried jumping in somebody else's car and then going to Pukekohe. I'd be tucking my dick between my legs and like just closing my eyes and praying. So
It's a bit fast.
yeah, but we'll talk about that in a few more weeks once that's all settled for him. Yeah, I've fucking stayed out of the loop on most of this shit lately. Yeah,
Sit down and watch YouTube all day.
Yeah, I've been watching Adam LZ and people that, yeah, I don't know. So if you're one of our big fans and you're in New South Wales, we'll be together down at Revo this weekend. Maybe I'll bring my helmet and my shoes and steal EG's car and try and blow it up on the start line. Return the favor. EG's probably going to do his standard show up to the event. Car's still on the trailer, needs work, but then he's going to get his high vis on. He's going to get his camera out. He's going to go stand in the middle of the track for a while. Then maybe around lunchtime, he's going to pretend like he's going to work on the car. He'll work on the car a little bit. He'll go out maybe late afternoon, do a couple of laps. It won't work properly, and then he'll put it on the trailer and take it home.
What? I'm always there to the end of the day.
Yeah, but you're going to put it on the trailer because it's the end of the day.
Jesus.
Because that's what time you started working on. Harrison, no, you can't have a signature, mate. You're going to have to pay for that shit. This is the best Toyota Jake's driven so far.
Are you going to click on it? If I click on it, I think the stream's going to end for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he drove you're right. He did drive the Lexus as well over there. I just remember the Supra. He's driven some fancy shit. Mate, you just got to drive other people's cars. Stop spending money on your own shit. And go and fuck other people's shit up. Then it's their problem. I watched his video today where after he had launched the motor at Festival of Speed or whatever, and then he's done his update video today. And fuck, it just makes me feel sick. Like, that's the same sort of shit I went through for the last 2 years as well. And I know he's been going through that shit for a while as well. And it just makes me feel sick that somebody can be that dedicated, but just still keep copping the dick in the ass over it. So, I just hope that, I just hope that finally it stays together for him. But look, I did some good grip racing at Wakefield. I think after the new motor went in, and yeah, he just had to be a sensible boy past the decibel meter. I don't think he said any.
This is the latest video.
No, I don't think that's been up yet. I think he's been putting on his. I think he's been putting it up on his social media stuff. Yeah, a few years salary. I've done the same shit. So yeah, but hopefully, fingers crossed for him, because I just hate people sort of spending that sort of money. Seeing people hit walls after they said it's okay for people to hit walls in competition to get media time. I'm okay with people doing that though. It's just a shame they didn't hit it harder. I'll tell you off air, the person will understand. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be back out there soon. EG should be out there this week, and hopefully we
You
get.
can't get the 32.
No,
Grab the 32.
I haven't even done the wiring for the bloody Pathfinder for the trailer yet.
It's 7 wires, I think.
Yeah, I know, but I've been lazy. Not even. If you don't have electronic brakes, it's not even that.
What?
If you don't have electronic brakes, you don't even need the 7th wire. Okay,
so 6 wires, and you can just do like a Falcador thing and just get those crimping things.
Honestly, I have them sitting on my desk somewhere. Like they're the dodgiest crimp things I've ever seen. Like, oh here, I you can give me a quick rundown. So it's this shit, right?
Yeah, those
It,
things are terrible.
yeah, so that's what it came with. The plug. It's here. Yeah, look,
Yeah,
I actually have it here.
yeah, I know. I've seen.
Um, but I'm guessing what I do is I run the full wire through like this side, that's got like the whole way through it,
Yeah,
and then I put the new wire from this dingle dangle here
yeah,
in the other side, and then I
yeah,
like squishy squish,
yep.
and
That's it.
then
I used to have to use pliers to actually squish them together to make
yeah,
sure
yeah,
that it pierces properly.
and then
But
supposedly that's supposed to work.
yep, I've seen so many I pulled so many cards apart with things like that. And if you have problems with the lights not turning on consistently, it's because that thing's not very good.
So I should really do one of those things that like splits open the wire and
No, just chuck that on so you can get down to Wakefield this weekend.
well, yeah, but yeah, all right. I'll see what I do.
Fine. And then when the cop pulls you over, just sort of kick the wires and it'll come back to life
Yes, boss.
again.
So yeah, probably no driving for me this weekend, and then we'll see.
What about your practice car, the S14?
What?
The green one.
Oh, nah. He's getting that ready for the bash, and I don't want to fuck his shit up. So
Just don't crash it.
nah. He did say I could take it, but he wants to do a nut and bolt check and stuff like that. No, yeah, no, I don't want to break it. And why would I go drive that with you? Then I'm
Well,
taking it back
drive.
damaged. I'm taking
No,
it.
no, just drive it. Just...
I'll drive your cars. Yeah. So that's this weekend. As for next week, I don't know.
We've got. Oh no! Remember, next week is a planned guest from like 2 months ago, and I sent him a message to see if he's still on. Keen.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, we'll talk about it off air. And so we have it.
But like all the other guests, it's still
I might
not.
dog the boys. Yeah, all good for tonight. This went way longer than what I had planned.
Yeah, me too.
We talked
I
some
was
shit.
gonna do some work on the car like quickly, so we'll just get it over and done with, and then go work on the car. But geez, getting late.
Yeah, God, we talked some shit. All right, well, thanks for everybody who stuck around. I'm surprised we still have 18 people.
Actually, it's 20 now. It's more than some of the other times.
Yeah, because people were cheating on us because of that other crap that happens every second Wednesday. Yeah, I'm gonna be salty
Okay.
about it. All right, well, we'll catch you guys next week if we survive this weekend.
Is the first podcast going as well? The first one.
Nah. That lasted like
It's not
two.
once.
Nah. That only
Okay.
lasted a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you probably next
See you
week
guys.
if we can actually get our shit together.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.